Hi and good evening, everyone. My name is Albert, and this is VlogsBoutNothin. Thank you very much for taking the time out of your night to watch this sweaty, white-haired faced man speak to you about absolutely nothing. I really do appreciate it. I do. All new subs and viewers, comment section is open, baby. In terms of like, hey, I feel super liberated. Something just happened. It's been a whole sequence of events, and um, as my avid troller says on his headline for his Instagram, I'm just a man floating through a ball of gas and space and dust. It's so existential. It's so mysterious. Oh my god, I want to know more. Oh wait, I get it. It's so ironic. It's more than dice. Oh my god. It's so ironic. It's so brilliant. Oh my god, like the whole little hexagram, pentagram, little dice thing, holy potatoes. It just speaks volumes. This man is genius. I've been inspired. Oh my lord. Hey guys, I really appreciate you watching the channel. And hey, the man walked himself into a perpetual forever cycle of jokes. And that isn't my fault. So, I hope that you guys seriously are having a really good night. And thank you to all the new subs and viewers. Continue hitting that subscribe button, and pretty soon we'll have hundreds of thousands and then millions of people in here, and all, just for nothing, just to be here. I want to entertain, I want to be background noise. And at this point, I guess, let the trolls, unite, right? And I'm specifically talking about them, obviously. If you have something nice to say, I mean, why wouldn't you say it? If you have something mean to say, or if you want to stir up stuff, then hey, I guess the internet is just populated with people who have really cool avatars and existential, meanings for existence. Remember, I am just a man floating on a ball of dust through space. That's all that I am. Again, it blows my mind. I mean, people try to be clever and it just makes them sound like, and I don't think they know, which is why I'm here. You know what I mean? It's like, my thumbnail, for the record, the avatar on this channel, if you were able to read or whatever, you click on it and you'll see an LOVE balloons, and like I saw those in the sky, like legit randomly as a dishwasher one time outside of work, and I decided to take a picture because it had meaning, like to me, I don't know, but anyways, I'm just a man floating on a ball of dust through space. That's me. Anyways, so I want to talk about something I think is an interesting topic, right? Because the answer that I'm going to provide is obviously as muddied, and as complicated as possible. But I do stand for something, right? So there is that. I just indulge me for a moment here, right? The guy with the half-shaved eyebrow, indulge me, and who's been accused of yeah, dude. Anyways, let's talk about link in the description below, because there's a video that I want you guys to see, and it's about how people are leaving the United States and the various reasons why people want to leave the United States. And so here's the thing. I mean, people want to leave the United States because the United States is so great. And people want other parts of the world to experience, dare I say, democracy, but no, because that's a very American Western imperialistic kind of perspective to have. However, is it not good to share good ideas? Like, it doesn't have to be a corrupt democratic republic, as we maintain here in the United States. But I'm just saying, like, yeah, people want to leave the United States of America because people want the world to be a better place. And I don't exactly find anything wrong with that, with the exception of, invasions of country, false narratives, and just overall propaganda that encourages conflict over, conflict resolution. And so, obviously, I need to preface by saying I'm a social capitalist, and will forevermore advocate for open borders. again, we have to make our stands, and I'm not the guy. You know, I mean, why are we going to sit and debate about who's good enough to come here? And it's just, it's so, so boring, dull, and discriminatory just by simple nature that, like, open borders should be common sense, you know? Like, seriously, like, I don't even, like, they should be common sense. We should just, get along better. Anyways, so I really feel like that's ironic, right? Because here in America, we live a really, really good life in terms of the quality of it. Yes, there are lots of problems in the United States of America, and we discuss them. And the cool thing about being the United States of America is that you are allowed to discuss them. Like, you're allowed to be a hypocritical, religious, occult following. We rarely overtly deprive people of human rights here in the United States of America. And whether that's a result of democratic republic or socialist practice or whatever it is, it's true. Like, here in America, we relatively, as far as the world on over is concerned, enjoy a really, really good quality of life. And again, with that privilege comes a lot of responsibility. And I think that the biggest fault we have as Americans is really understanding that there are, in fact, just most of the world, like, that doesn't live like us, and for whatever reason that might be, right? And so it becomes hard. Like, you become, like, conflict driven and, dynasty sort of dynastical sort of conquest. I think it's real easy to see where conflict comes from and stuff, but I think people want to leave the United States again because, like, there's a really cool world out there, and as I get older, I begin to see these things. I watch documentaries about Middle Eastern countries that I was told as a boy were just terrible places, and unbeknownst to me are some of, like, the oldest and most historic places that man has ever been, And so the world is full of interesting and very, very fun stuff, not to mention the people that live in all of these places. I mean, here in the West, we're often sold, a certain kind of rhetoric in that I wouldn't say it's hostile towards international, collaboration, but it definitely isn't a policy on either of the major parties that's pushed forward in terms of an actual agenda to make the world a better and more inclusive place. Meaning that, like, our vice president is in charge of foreign affairs, and this is a good and bad thing, right? In that there is some, leadership there, but it's never quite as much or as touted about, on the executive level branch more than, like, the president. And the president being a commander in chief and handling domestic affairs as well as being in charge of ultimately, dictating what could or could happen in foreign matters as it relates to certain kind of policies and things that are passed. So, it's weird being an American in the year 2024 because, again, you see all of the inequality around the world. And, then we think about how, like, there's a lot wrong at home too, in terms of homelessness, exorbitant inflation, rising cost of living, school costing money, like, people constantly being divided by two puppets from, like, parties that absolutely do not represent more of the population than not. So, I mean, you could say that the Electoral College, for example, is a direct misrepresentation of democracy and a direct democracy and a republic democracy, But hey, I love the United States of America. I love being a seventh generation part of this country. Seriously, it's lovely, and I'd have it no other way, But I say but because people want to travel. People want to feel safe, and they want to be able to have the stability to travel. And that requires two things, open borders and the acceptance that America has some pretty cool values to, like role model. Whether or not people choose to be a part of that experience is entirely up to them. Informed consent is everything, right? And some people may just choose that the way Americans live is better. And when that happens, how do we address the leaders of these nations that are sovereign and indigenous, in that we can't really tell them what to do? Like, ergo, the modern conflicts that arise from sovereignty recognition on a global level and an independent recognition of sovereignty on indigenous land by groups of people who've claimed that land. Again, open borders. Open borders is what I believe in. Open borders is what I feel is going to be most helpful in a way that will allow not just American ideals to travel abroad, but also, and more importantly, as an American, international ideas to come into America. Because again, we're the melting pot of the world, and we are a very diverse nation, and this is without question. There are places in this country that you'd think you were in, Asia or some parts of Italy, or so. I mean, we go out of our way here in America. We're a business, and there's nothing wrong with running a business that is inclusive and that, wants everybody's money, as opposed to a business that is, discriminatory and hostile towards its inhabitants. Again, we pay to play here. That's the idea that works in America, and forevermore, that is a capitalist concept, and that's why capitalism itself must evolve and not vanish, but just evolve. And that's why I'm a social capitalist, because it is, in fact, another opportunity to extend forth in a world that might not otherwise offer these kinds of opportunities. The ways of the old are dead. It is time to adapt, it is time to evolve, and the United States of America is in the very fortunate position to make real global long lasting change, not through warfare or through conquest, but through diplomacy and the sharing of valuable resources that can benefit all of mankind. Quite legit. And again, that's better business as far as I'm concerned. I mean, I understand war makes money and it's a business, but there's a bigger business and a more profitable business that, doesn't have to involve unaliving people or taking over their land or, doing any, or trying to control them, right? Seriously. Like, you'll find that, I think it's the chaotic universe theory or whatever. As easy as things sometimes are to predict in life, we do live in a world that is not stagnant, and that does offer many endless solutions to problems that we think we got figured out until the universe throws us a curveball. So, I appreciate you watching the channel. Check out that documentary, link in the description below. I think it's interesting that Americans want to leave America, but yet that's really not the case, in that I feel like it's because we're very privileged here and want to learn about other people. And by learning about other people, the other people that we learn about will inevitably learn from us, right? And good or bad, take it as you will, that's just called socializing. That's just called real life, without any sort of available filters that dictate to you and what your individual wants and needs are. That's the cool, unpredictable part of the universal algorithm that plays out in front of our very eyes on the daily IRL. Or some things are, again, very predictable, very easy to guess, all these other things, but people, meeting people, and being creative and being able to share, I think, offers far more many opportunities to do good and to have better results in a positive long-term way than any other kind of scenario. So I hope that you guys have a really good night, and thank you so much for watching the channel. All right, bye.